Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to get rid of scratches on a car using polishing compounds.
What you'll find in general is fine scratches that are on the surface like that. If you rub your fingernail gently across it, if it's almost imperceptible or you can't feel it at all, then it'll buff out. If it's a lot deeper than that and you can actually feel it, your fingernail clicking across it, then chances are it's through the layer of lacquer or very close, and you're going to struggle to buff that out without going through your lacquer. That's hopefully a good guide for you. Okay, so this is a direct driven rotary polisher and it's made by Silvertech. So it's a budget machine, but it's pretty heavy duty and it works really well. You need one with a speed controller, if only so that then you can turn it down. And what you'll find is that, let's say it goes up to 6 like this one does, you'll only ever run it at 2 or 3. So I'm going to start at 2.5 just there. So this is just a standard pad, so it might be called a medium pad. So I just get a hose and then I literally just squeeze a bit of water into it. Okay, so that pad's soaked now, you can see it running out the bottom. Now that's too much water. And then you just turn it on for a couple of seconds and that'll throw the excess water off. So what you'll find now is that pad's just a little bit damp and ready to go. So we're ready to put some compound onto that pad now. And what I've got here is Poorboys Master Cut, Super Cut compound. And this is quite a heavy compound. I just put a fine bead around the outer edges. And what I'm gonna do is start low down and just go across it and back again. So let's give that a try. That's a little bit more water than I would normally have, and you sometimes find that when you're first getting started. But anyway, it's gone now, so now we can kind of keep working. You can do a quick check to make sure that the paint's not getting hot, so that feels fine to me. And you can just touch the pad to make sure it's still damp, and that seems all right as well. And I'm just going to rub that in the area and then give it another try. And if you want to check your progress, then all you need is a fine microfiber cloth, because this will soon glaze over exactly like wax does. So what you can do is just polish that back and then you can check for the scratch. You can see that scratch is gone now. I'm just using normal sponge and car shampoo. I'm just going to clean that panel to wash away the compound. Give it a squirt down with the hose. Now the scratch is gone and that's great. But what you can see now in the paintwork hopefully is what they call halo effect. And it's actually caused by the way the direct driven rotary polisher works. And it especially happens when you're using a heavy compound. Okay, so the direct driven rotary machine with a heavy compound is just great at getting those scratches out quickly. But unfortunately, as you just saw, it leaves behind the halo effect. Even if you go to lighter compounds on this, because of the way that it works, just direct rotation and no oscillation, it's really hard to get it to take the halo out. So let's introduce the second machine then. So this one's known as a DA, and it stands for dual action. And the main difference with this machine is, one, it's not direct driven, so although this will rotate, if you start pushing really hard against the car, it'll actually stall and stop. So it just doesn't have that power and drive, if you know what I mean. But the thing it does have is oscillation. So when it is rotating, don't push too hard because you don't want to stall the rotation. Then it actually oscillates side by side automatically. And what that means is it takes the halo out. It also means it doesn't concentrate the force in just one particular area on the paint. So these are super safe for not burning your paint. Now you might say at this point, well, hang on, why didn't you just use the DA with the heavy compound to get that fine scratch out? And believe me, I tried. Even with the heavy compound, you'll polish and polish until the cows come home and you still won't get even fine scratches out. We just need to get this pad damped down exactly the same as when we use the rotary polisher. And you don't always have to use the hose if you've got one of these squirty bottles handy. And we just have a different compound to use now. So this one's a Menzerna medium cut, and this will give you a really nice polish on your paint. So this is the only one I'm going to use now. So I'm going to get that halo effect out, get any swirls out, all with this compound. So let's get some of that onto our pad, same as we did before. and then just get it smeared on the area that we're going to be working on. And if it's a new pad initially, you might have to apply quite a lot until you get some product into the pad. But always let the paint be your guide. If you can't see hardly any hazing, not only is your pad probably getting a little bit dry, but you probably don't have enough compound on there either. And what I found is if I go down and overlap slightly and come back, and then I go up and down and do the same, if I do that twice through, that's enough to get swirls and halo effect out of this section of paint. So let's check that out. So one more time. So once you've finished working on the panel, it's important that you protect that paint straight away, because there's no wax or anything on there to stop it becoming damaged from things like tree sap and bird poo and things like that. So that brings me on to my final product, which is this Poorboys EX. Basically, although I called it a wax, it's actually a sealant. This is called sealing the paint. I have a damp microfiber cloth, and you just apply it as if you're waxing that panel. And on a warm day like this, I'd advise applying it on just one panel at a time, coming back to buff it off straight away. And not only will this stuff seal the paint, it'll also really bring out the color as well. Okay, so I hope that helped some of you out there, and if it did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you've got any questions or comments at all, then please post them below and I'll try to help you out if I can. And finally, if you'd like to see more content like this, then please consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.